Morning. It was freezing last night. It went down to about -4. It is absolutely blissful today. They said it was going to be cold. It's not. It's really warm. There's not a breath of wind. How often do I say that? Just incredible to be out, and it being like this. It's just awesome, especially with the weather we've been having, which has been cold and wet and storms all over the place. And I've come back to this pasture, and I'm working hard today. It's been tricky, but it doesn't matter because I haven't been out for a while, and it's just glorious. I might just take all my clothes off and just start sunbathing. As I said, it has been hard, but I have found one of these quite unusual buckles, which has, well, I don't know how unusual this one is, but the loop on that side would not have had a pin in it. And I think I'm right in saying that these might be Norman or Saxon. They're early anyway. We've got a rivet there as well. And so that's just beautiful. That's going to clean up really nicely. And I have found... this got me quite excited. I thought, oh my God, an incredible piece of Celtic something or other, until I saw the telltale sign, which makes it a Georgian buckle. But look at the design on that. I've not seen anything quite like it. Would have been beautiful once. I don't know if it's silver or not, or certainly silvered. But gosh, I mean, that's just extraordinary. But just like that, I thought, my God, that's Iron Age or Celtic. I mean, my luck's in today, but not quite. And then there's another little very nice medieval buckle with its forked plate there, which would have had the strap, which would have had the copper bits on both sides. So that's extraordinary. Two incredible buckles, and that thing there. But it's been hard work. There are not a lot of signals, and because it's so cold, the ground, and there's so much moisture, I mean, the detector's rattling away. And just down here, I mean, so quite honestly, if I don't find anything else, I don't really care now. I found a couple of lovely buckles, and this. Now, I was on the track that I had made the other way, so it just goes to show what you miss. Even though I probably could be forgiven for missing it one way, it's a tiny cut half, well, not some depth, but certainly 4 or 5 inches, and it's in the most beautiful condition. I mean, that's just stunning. There's a lot of legend on it, and on the obverse I can see, well, there's the curly hair and a scepter, which is what you get, and REX, I think that is, or is it, yes, it's Hen, the beginning, HEN, the beginning of Hen, Henricus, because that's when they were, these coins, Henry II to Henry III, and the boys in between. But that's just beautiful. So absolutely no complaints from me. This is just a wonderful day, but it's quite hard going at the moment, so we'll see how we get on. Hi there, welcome to headquarters, and happy new year and all that rubbish. And it really was a good year last year, and let's just hope that we have an even better year in 2025. In fact, 2 days ago, the ground is so hard out there, it's pretty much undetectable. With the pasture I go to, funny enough, because it's quite sandy, once you get over the actual turf, it actually can be quite soft underneath. But I find that arable land is absolutely completely pointless. It's just too hard. We've had, as you all probably know, we've had a really hard time of it in this country over the last few days. Anyway, I did manage to get out a couple of days ago, and I hate the phrase "find of a lifetime." It's bandied around far too often. But in this case, I really do think I did find it. It won't be out in the next video. It'll be out in 2 videos, and it's absolutely, it's the most stunning thing I've ever found. And there's not a cat's chance in hell that the landowner and I are going to be able to keep it. In fact, I'll take it over to the flow probably next week and alert the coroner and all that rubbish. But if you're on the detecting hub, you may well know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that was that for that day. Just to say, I did quite a lot of filming after that. I just dug up rubbish after rubbish after rubbish, desperately trying to get enough together for a film, and it's just simply not worth showing you. But I did go out the following day, and we'll go straight back to the field now and have a look, because it is worth it. I find some really nice things, and thank you very much again for all the support in 2024, especially on the gosh, sorry, rubbing my hands, especially on the eBay side of things, which has been a massive success, and I can't thank you enough for supporting me on that. And in fact, I'll leave a couple of links in the description of this video, because at the end of this video I found 2 or 3 really nice Roman coins, and I'll probably put them up on eBay, but we won't be coming back to headquarters to look at them, because there's just not enough time. We come back here another 2 times already. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get back to the field. Hi there. Well, it's a lot fresher than it was yesterday. I hope you can hear me. The wind's coming from the same way as the sun, which is always a bit of a pain with these things. But I'm back out and it is a bit colder. I'm on a field which is one of the fields in this great area, but it's the one I come to a bit less frequently because there's so many cartridges here. Everything's a cartridge. It can drive you slightly potty, and if it's not a cartridge, it's a tiny piece of lead. But it just goes to show, I'll plug you in quickly because I bloody needed this. I tell you, it is cold, but it's pleasant. But you know, you need things to keep your wits about you and to keep your pecker up when it's a bit like this. And I've just gone and found something. Right, I'll plug you in. Show you. It sounded like a cartridge, I promise you. I was so despondent about digging it. I thought, I mean, flat and a bit low, and something that you would have got really excited about anywhere else, but not once you've dug 15-20 cartridges in an hour. But it just goes to show I dug this so half-heartedly. It's a little hammered coin. It's a tiny one. I think it must be a halfpenny, a halfpenny. Now, I'm going to say something quickly. I'm really sorry for those people who get upset about rubbing things in the field. I don't do it an awful lot, but it's silly to be too precious about it. I know it might be gold, it might be silver and all the rest of it. It's been rolling around in these fields for centuries. It's quite soft, the sand here. We really aren't doing it very hard. But if I had a bit of flint and I was smashing away at it, fair enough. But please don't get upset about just taking a bit of the dirt off quite carefully. We're not doing it any damage whatsoever. Anyhow, that's what that is. I'm sure it's a halfpenny. Can I see Civitas on that side? It's probably London. But we'll clean it up when I get home. And no, I'm not carrying girly spritzers, whatever anyone wants me to do. There's just no way. I've got too much rubbish already. I don't want to have to keep going squirty the whole time. I can take it home and do it then. Oh, look. From that side, it's an Irish one, I think. Irish halfpenny. Being triangular like that. Is it Irish? Or is it something completely bonkers? I just don't know. Is that a face? The monarch in the triangle? Is it one of those sterling, whatever they call them? Gosh, I don't know. That's really exciting. Right, we're not going to do any more to it there. We'll leave it there. Take it home. We won't go back to headquarters. It's a bit too early. Early headquarters and early rant. No, I don't think that's just too much for anyone. But we'll take it back as and when. I'm thrilled with that. And as I said, I needed it. Gosh, I got a bit excited about that. It's just a very shiny button. Got some age to it, not an awful lot. But that's definitely got, it's quite, and look at the condition it's in. Is there anything on it? No. Wow. Pristine. Not very exciting, but pristine. Well, very rarely do I get excited about digging things which are too loud, but this was a bit of a relief, as it was just, well, listen. That wasn't going to be a cartridge. It's just too loud. I thought possibly a rifle round, a big rifle round. Almost certainly a big rifle round. Do you like the new gloves? I did wear these a couple of times last year. They are quite nice, I've got to say. Albeit these are a bit girly, but they're nice girly. Now look at this. I mean, my gut feeling on digging it up was, well, that's modern bit of army maybe. It looks just like a sort of something, or maybe horsey or bridley. Probably is still. But I just don't know. The more I look at it, on that side suddenly, with that sort of, well, it is quite uniform looking. It looks like a sort of stirrup. Now I look at it properly. I think, yeah, it's almost, isn't that, it's got to be horsey, hasn't it? Is it sort of horse related? Might it be modern? Well, I think it is modern. I'm going to tell myself it's modern. If the pin does move, then, well, I just don't know. But I think that is horsey. I think that's modern horsey. I think it just looks a bit too sort of, and the way that's been worn down probably through, well, look, let's take this back to headquarters, because it's whatever, modern or not, it's unusual. And we'll look at that coin at the same time, because I can't wait to get a closer inspection on that. Okay, let's go. Well, this is the first of two really unusual objects I found that day. But before we look at that very quickly, this absolutely beautiful little Irish coin. Now, I mean, it was fairly obviously Irish, as we sort of noticed at the time. When you've got the monarch's head in a triangle, I can't get more technical than that. I think more often than not, you're looking at an Irish coin. I do think some sterling imitations have the monarch's head in a triangle, and by sterling imitation, I mean the continental silver coins that were making their way into England in the 13th and 14th centuries, which are really special coins themselves. But this is an Irish one, and you can see the monarch on that side, and then very clearly Civitas, and then DUBL. And I presume something like IN or whatever it might be, because it is a Dublin mint. I wasn't sure of the monarch, so I put it on the detecting hub. Where else? Where the magician Electus, not a particularly hard one for him. You can send him a hammered coin with no detail on it at all, and he'll tell you what it is. But he says, just here, Edward the First. So that's absolutely charming. And to my eye, that looks completely unclipped as well. I mean, it's a bit worn, but it's in, otherwise mint condition. It's an absolutely cracking little coin. I'm thrilled with it. And then this buckle. Now, I can really be seriously forgiven for thinking this is modern. The way it is made, I mean, it's absolutely, everything is completely flush. It just looks like it's been machine made by a factory 50 years ago. I mean, it's just extraordinary. Some of the things you find of serious age are made to this quality. Now, as I said, I thought modern army. It's not. I put it on the detecting hub, and Ronan, one of the new bosses, one of the new chiefs of the detecting hub, immediately said, "Well, look, I've found some stuff." Shows that it's 14th or 15th century, possibly even a little bit earlier. Now you can see the ring there is very, very worn, and I wasn't sure if the pin would budge, but I cleaned it quite carefully and gently, and there you go, look. It moves. Now it moves really well, and I can see the mechanism now as well. I couldn't on that side because it was too dirty, but I scraped it away. There's a central pin there which has been filed down to be flush to the actual metalwork, and it's just beautifully made, and it revolves around that. Now I don't know if it goes the whole way back. I don't know if the square end of that pin will allow it to, and I'm not going to force it anymore, but the fact that I've got it working is just fabulous. Now there's a couple of Ronan put me also onto a couple of things on the pass, which reckoned, one reckoned 1400, 1500, one reckoned 1300 to sort of 1450. As is often the case from stuff in those fields, the condition of this is just, there's nothing like it on the pass, which is, I mean, there's no corrosion on it, there's no sort of bronze wear or bronze disease or whatever they call it, there's nothing. It's just as if it was dropped, yesterday. I mean, I'm really lucky, and I'm even more lucky because I found another one I don't know where I put it because it was literally the last 2 or 3 days, on the other side of the same field. Before I researched this, I thought, oh, I've got another army buckle. Well, it's not. It's absolutely fabulous. So those are those 2 things. Really just, God, I'm really lucky. Anyhow, let's go back to the fields. We come back here one more time.
Well, look, nothing to get stupidly excited about, but it's a jolly good sign. It's just a strap with a little bit of what would have been the buckle there. So, is there any detail on it? Not an awful lot. I mean, that does feel a little bit on the modern side, I've got to say, but I don't think it is. I think that it might have been one of those ones with the claspy fastener bit. I think that's got to be medieval. And as I said, not going to win any awards, but good sign.
Can you hear the electric fence? I'm getting quite used to it now. It's sort of almost second nature. But it's fairly consistent. Now, I've got here now, to be fair, my ears, it is slightly higher pitched. But that, I would have thought, is a cartridge. And if it is, it'll be about the 40th one I've dug today. But we're going to chance it, because I've just found something which really wasn't a cartridge, and it sounded like a tin can. So I thought I better dig it quickly anyway. It's something really, well, I'll let you be the judge when I show it to you in a minute. It's one of those things. It's either going to be fabulous, like stupidly fabulous, or it's modern. But let's get this cartridge out first. God, I hope it's not now. It will be. 100%. It's so annoying, isn't it, how good they sound. Unless they're Pharisee. You soon get to know the bits which you really should avoid, because they've just got iron amongst it. Yup. I mean, it is a bit infuriating, because it's stopping me slightly from live digging, because they're just everywhere. There's obviously a drive here. They obviously shot them over that hedge, I would have thought. And it will drive you slightly mad, but look at this. Now, my God. Now, as I said, it's either completely modern or it's something really rather unusual. Now, with that sort of copper and that sort of gilding, it's the sort of thing you see on very decorated horse harness pendants and things like that. And if I look really closely, there's certain bits of zigzagging which do remind me of medieval things. But the flip side is, it could just be a modern toy, or rather not modern, but well, modern, yeah, early 20th century, sort of maybe 1920s, and that would have been the hub wheels, that would have been the space for the tyre or something, of a toy car or motorbike. It's got a rivet there which goes through. It's a bit loose, so I'm going to be a bit careful with it, and it would have had another rivet there, and a third one there. It's just one of those things. I mean, I've never found anything like it before. It's certainly not common, but God knows what it is. Now look, I'm going to go to headquarters with it now quickly. If I come straight back, it's because it's rubbish. And I'll tell you that it's rubbish when we do go back properly. But just in case this is as unusual as I think it possibly could be, let's go. Well, here we are. I don't think it is part of a toy car. Now, it's a funny bit of metalwork really, because it's actually quite stained in places, and sometimes with these medieval things, because I think that's what it is, you can boss it quite bravely with the brass nib of the composite cleaning pencil, and all sorts of detail will come out. And I've tried it with this, and it's actually going straight through to the copper and the bronze, so I can't clean it any more than I have already. But there's definitely some design, whether it's bird wings or dragons or all sorts of wonderful things going on. And it's, as I said, it's got that sort of medieval hatching, which sort of basically gives it away as being medieval, I think. But I think I can be forgiven for thinking that, it could be part of a sort of, a toy car or something, because of all that sort of shaping. Now, the other thing that someone said on the Detecting Hub when I put it up was, well, it looks like a side plate to a gun, to a firearm of sorts, a pistol. And I thought that was very possible as well. But then Clint got onto it and said, well, it looks to me like a sword scabbard, a dagger chape. Well, I don't think it is a dagger chape, because I've looked, of all the ones I found, they're pretty small dagger chapes. This, I reckon, is part of a sword scabbard. It would have gone on the end, and the leather work would have sort of kept on going up like that. Sort of, well, it was either a sword or a big dagger. That would have been the point. And the other thing that goes to prove that, I think, is that the rivet here, I think it's got a bit of its original leather remaining from it. So it would have gone through the leather and out the other side, obviously, there, which would sort of this and would have finished it off. And unless any of you tell me differently, that's what I reckon it is. I reckon it's the end of a scabbard. And I've never seen anything like it. And to me, no one really on the Detecting Hub, apart from Clint, has seen anything like it. I didn't get loads of replies saying it's one of these. So I don't think they can be that common. And I'd love, maybe I'll find a way, maybe I'll use some methylated spirits or something just to try and get that oil off. But that way it won't damage the gilding or anything like that. Don't worry. I use it a lot on furniture and things like this. If you're careful with it. But that might just suddenly bring out all the detail of that, because it could be really, really grand. Anyway, enough from me, because I've gone on for too long. We don't come back here again, but as I said at the beginning, I find 2 or 3 really lovely Roman coins now. And yeah, let's go back. Well, I've now been digging up nothing but cartridges for about an hour and 20 minutes, and it's actually got very demoralizing. They're all different shapes and sizes, 20 bore, 410, different types of alloy, all different noises. It really makes you not want to dig. I mean, it's all right when there's the odd cartridge, because it could be a Roman coin, but at the moment it's just cartridges. And as I said, it's making you not want to dig at all. What you do is you go, oh, shall I, shan't I? And you dig it, and it's a cartridge, and the whole thing. So just for my sanity, I've got to go somewhere else for a bit. Just been brilliant. We found some cool things, but it's just got a bit too much when all you're digging is cartridges, because I probably missed the odd thing by thinking it's a cartridge. So we'll end on this one in this field. I don't know why I think that's a chance of not being a cartridge. I really don't. It's small, and it's quite high pitched, believe it or not. It always sounds a bit lower in the speaker, I've worked out. So we'll give this, I even found 2 cartridges in the same hole. It must have been a serious partridge drive here back in the day. It's a shame, because there were really good things amongst it, but my God. Right. What do we reckon? Well, I know what it is. It's a cartridge. It simply can't be anything else. And the good things I found a little bit over there, but not recently. I don't know if the other fields at the moment that I'm going to give myself a chance on are any good, but I've had enough of that. I can't keep doing that. And there's probably plenty of you who say, just dig everything. I don't think you quite understand. When you've dug 50 cartridges, it just becomes a little bit too much, and I'm stopping enjoying it. And if I'm not enjoying it, I don't want to be out here. So I'll go and just potter around somewhere where I know is a bit cleaner. And let's hope. Gosh, the wind's picking up. Well, that's a bit silly of me. I thought I'd try just one more quick area on the other side of the field, ignoring the bit in the middle. I'm very close to the electric fence again. Listen to this. I thought, well, that doesn't sound like a cartridge. It didn't down there either, unless it was one of the really, really brassy ones I've dug up, which did sound like that. Fortunately, it's not a cartridge. Hooray! It's a coin. I was praying it would be quite an early one. It's a monarch looking right, so George III, possibly. No, hooray! It's much earlier. It's a William III halfpenny. And that's just really cheered me up. I'm still going somewhere else. I'm still on my way out. But that's really, really cool. I'll clean that up when we get home. It'll have Britannia on the back. It's in lovely condition. A bit worn, but not corroded. And you can clearly see Guillermus or Guillermus, whatever it is. And that's wonderful. Phew. Sorry for not live digging it. Well, let's give this a go quickly. I don't know why I'm giving this a chance, because... Can you hear that amongst all the interference? Gosh, I'm going to give myself a socking pat on the back if this is any good. Amongst all that electric fence, I reckon there's a bit of a squeak. My God, if this is something, if I fought through interference and depth, I'm going to give this is going to be, I don't even mind if it's a cartridge. I think it might be, I don't think I would be digging this if there wasn't, I think the interference is slightly... Well, there's something there, but I think it is going to be iron. God, that's deep. Ooh! That was, well, pinpointer and a bit more. It doesn't sound very nice. Just I think it's a mashed up musket ball or a bit of lead of sorts. But my God, I don't mind that, because that's fun. That getting through all that interference and finding something that deep. It means, well, I mean, that's no good. But it wasn't, you know, it wasn't iron. Well, this is perfect. Everything is all right with the world again, because I've just found a beautiful little Roman coin. Come to another field, and I've come to a bit of it which I never usually come to. Where I was over there. This whole area is quite Roman. You could find anything anywhere. There's very little really hot area around here, but it's possible to find anything anywhere. And this is a little Roman coin. Now, by the look of it, by the look of his portrait, I think that's Constantine, even though it's quite small for Constantine. And you've got Beata Tranquillitas on the back, which is the altar and the globe. The verse isn't that great, but the portrait's beautiful. And that, quite honestly, is... well, that will do it for me. If we don't find anything else now, that's absolutely fine. Really, really fun day in the sun. Just a little bit testing, finding all those cartridges in an area where there are good things as well, because it becomes very demoralizing. But that's really brought me back up to speed. That's wonderful. Look, here's another one. The sun's getting a bit low, so I'm wondering whether you can see it. Well, that's it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Two lovely Roman coins. Now, I haven't seen the
obverse of this, but that is victory on the prow of the ship or whatever. So I would bet anything that the other side is Constantinople facing left. That's a lovely coin. It's a Constantinople commemorative, and it's a beauty. It'll clean up really nicely. Wow, well that's worth getting out of those cartridges and coming here. Right, one more and then I think we can go home. Getting a bit late, but I have just found the third one. Show you in a second. It's no massive shakes, but this one's quite close. My God, what a day again. I'd be surprised if that sounds really promising. There's a lot of army stuff around here as well. I've dug a lot of 2-2 rounds at depth, which is all very good, but a bit annoying. But you really know your machine's working beautifully if you're digging out those tiny little bits of copper at depth. Now, this sounds a bit too good, if you want my honest opinion. A bit too loud. Well, it's a key of sorts. It's a modern key of sorts. That's what makes that noise. But look at this other little Roman here. There's those two first ones. There he is. So we've got Constantine commemorative, and then this little one, soldiers in the standard. What a beauty again. It's such nice condition. And we've probably got one of the sons of Constantine. Oh, do you know what? That's one of the girls, I think. Is that Helena or Theodora? Looking like that. We'll soon find out because it's a beauty. Wow, well, look, well worth coming here. I'm really pleased. Well, that's just brilliant. And we may end on this one. That's not a cartridge. Might have to turn that. Might not be any good, but it's not a cartridge. And as I say, this makes things sound very slightly lower than they really are. I don't know why, because that's more high-pitched in my ears. Semi-hopeful about this. It's either going to be lovely or it's going to be really modern. What an absolutely beautiful day that I've got. I'm really... It's not quite as deep as I thought. It's just in the wall, but it's still 3 or 4 inches. And it is a... Well, I'm not going to complain. It's not Roman, not a cartridge either. It's a military button of sorts, I think, or whatever that is with a lion and the unicorn. When I saw it that side, I thought, wow. But look, that's a nice one to end on. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.